and welcome back to the Roll Call Podcast. I'm here today with my good friend Isiah Tisor, and we're going to be talking a little bit of Steelers action. So, the Steelers won their division last year um, with that winner takes all game in Week 18 against the Ravens. How are you feeling about your team right now?
I mean we're in a decent spot. I don't I was not on the Aaron Rodgers hype train whenever we brought
Yeah.
him back again. I feel like that's more of a him move than it is us progressing the team forward. Like, yes, he's better than Will Howard, and he's better than Drew Aller and Mason Rudolph. Like, nobody's arguing that. But I don't know what him being here another year is gonna do that moves
Yeah.
our team in the right direction.
I would have liked to see what a quarterback battle between Will Howard and Drew Aller would have looked like, because a lot of people forget Drew Aller was getting like first round talk last year, and Penn State just didn't really have a great year, and he kind of just slipped through the rankings. And Will Howard, he was getting first round buzz. I believe the year before he transferred from Ohio State. And Will Howard is not a very tools guy, but he has a really good mind for the game, from what I can tell from just hearing people talk about him. And Drew Aller physically is very, very gifted. You'd like to see a little bit more development through his time at Penn State, but overall, I would have really liked to see a battle between those two. It might have not ended out the best, but it at least show me what you got before signing someone who, yes, is better, but doesn't really necessarily help you in the long run of your team.
Yeah, I completely agree. If it came down to it, I think Howard would have beat out Aller. And I don't think that's anything against Aller. Will's just been here for a year. He's had a year to learn under Aaron. Um, Although it's a completely new staff, I just think Howard's better. Um, I don't know. Howard has the NFL size.
Hmm.
Literally the same build as Josh Allen. No, he's not Josh Allen by any means, but he's
Yeah.
got the same build. Um, More talented room. I mean, there's not many better situations you can ask for if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, starting your
Hmm.
first game with the talent that we brought in and what we kept this offseason. Um, but I mean, Aaron, like, he'll get the job done, but it's just kind of like putting everything that will do to progress the Steelers another year.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, speaking of things you've added, they really did have a really good free agency haul. A lot of so you got Cole Holcomb, the linebacker out of Washington, Asante Samuel Jr. He will, I believe, if I would probably put him at CB 2 or 3, maybe even a depth piece. But you got Jamal Dean from the Bucks, I believe he's really good. Rico Dowdle, Michael Pittman, you traded for Sebastian Joseph Day, Jaquan Brisker. You brought back Aaron Rodgers, and overall, that's a really, really good free agency haul. I'm sorry. Um, and as you were saying, like, I really do like the weapons on this team. You have your receiver wise, you have DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, and then either I guess Bernard is slotted to be your three right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's him or Roman Wilson, and uh, Roman. Although he's had minimal opportunities to be on the field, he's performed well. But I mean, I can't argue with a wide receiver that we take in the second round. I mean, we
No,
are historically known for that. So
yeah. Um, so that's really good receiving weapons. I mean, you of course you have Pat and Darnold, and then running back wise, it's a very interesting room. So you still have Jalen Warren. You brought in Rico Dowdle. You still have the third round pick from last year, Caleb Johnson. I don't know if he's in the shadow realm still, or if he's going to be used a little bit more this year. And then you also went out and you drafted Eli Hindenreich, and I was really really high on Hindenreich coming out of college, the kind of do it all guy from Navy. But no, I'm very interested about that wide receiver, or not wide receiver, sorry, that running back room. Who do you think is probably going to be the lead back there?
Warren.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren, he's been here. He knows what's going on. He's a freaking dog. One of the more underrated backs in the league, in my slightly biased opinion. But Dowdle brings something that we haven't really had, and it's that guy that you can run him up the A gap and he can plow through some guys. I mean, you saw it last year when he was with Carolina. Didn't really have many opportunities starting the year because of Chuba. But whenever he got in there after Chuba got injured, I mean, it was what a 200-yard game and then a high 100-yard game back to back.
Hmm.
I mean, and that's in front of an O line that's iffy at
Mediocre at
best.
best.
Um, I think he
Carolina, the
brings a
y'all's
lot.
line is good.
Yes, that is honestly one of the best parts about the team. Um, but I just think that Rico brings something that we've been missing for a while. As far as Caleb Johnson goes, I don't know what we're gonna do with him. I mean, we drafted him high last year, and then we gave him touches, and then he fumbled a kickoff against Seattle, and then we haven't seen the dude since. So I don't know if he's like a potential trade candidate. Maybe we offload him to Green Bay. I mean, they might be in the need of a running back now because
Yeah.
Lord knows what's going to happen with Josh Jacobs. Um, I mean, he's a trade candidate. I like Heidenreich. I mean, he's a freaking dog, and I think he's going to be a great locker room guy. Um, I mean, going out of Navy, I mean, a career. I don't know what it is. School records and touchdowns and receiving yards. I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah, he was kind of just
As a
like the
running
do
back,
it all guy in at Navy, which I mean I followed the draft story closely because I didn't think he would end up getting drafted just because it is out of a service school. But his tape does show everything, you know. And I was very pleased
yeah,
to see him got drafted somewhere. Um, we could look back in 5 years and think this is a complete draft skill steal because this kid's out doing everything.
yeah. I completely agree. It's all touches. I mean, it's a very competitive room. Um, and hopefully there's opportunity for him to get involved, whether that be we play him more in like the slot, kind of transition him to the receiver maybe, or put him in the backfield, on third down, whatever the case may be. Um, I think if he gets opportunities, I think he'll shine early. I think he's ready for it. Uh, it was a very it was a very emotional moment when he got drafted, and
Hmm.
for him to be there in the city, the fans welcomed him. Literally that day. I mean, it was something. If he gets touches, I think he'll shine. And I mean,
Yeah,
the
he'll
dude literally
definitely
looks like Christian McCaffrey. So if he's
he'll
anything like
definitely
him, I mean, I think we'll be okay.
he'll definitely make the most out of his touches. I have seen a lot of Christian McCaffrey comparisons, but the I see a lot more kind of Cordell Patterson in him in his game. Because I could see him kind of doing what Arthur Smith did that 1 year with the Falcons, and kind of make him like this Joker position where he's kind of playing your gadget. He's coming out the backfield. He's lining up at your slot receiver. Honestly, he'll probably get some kick return touches. Um, but no, I'm very, very interested in Heidenreich. Um, you did lose some pieces though in free agency. So you lost Kenny Gainwell. He went to the Bucks. You lost Isaac Seumalo from the Cardinals, and you lost James Pierre to the Vikings. And pretty much you kind of went out in free agency and you shored those positions up. You went out and you got Rico to replace Kenny and at Dean to replace Pierre. I could be wrong because I didn't do. I may have just missed it. What do you plan on doing at the guard position? Is that kind of Jennings' spot to lose? Jennings Dunker's spot to lose?
I think as far as we're concerned with that, I think we'll play Dunker at left guard. Um, that if I was Mike McCarthy, that's what I would do. I mean, we still have Spencer Anderson if he wants to play that position. Um, he's been a depth piece, but every time he's got in, he's done very well, surprisingly. Um, but yeah, McCormick will stay at right guard. Um, he was an absolute steal uh, when we drafted him. But I think it'll be Dunker or Anderson. They'll kind of have I'd say they'll probably have a little position battle in camp. But I'm very pleased about where our O line is. Zach Frazier is one of the best centers in the league already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the plan. I don't know if Broderick is going to come back from the neck injury he had last year. I'd love to see it because he was finally starting to find his way in the NFL after a few years of a little bit of struggle and a lot of penalty issues. But if he comes back, it'll be him or Fatanu at left tackle. We'll finally be able to move Troy back because of Ihi Nachor, our first rounder this year. He'll play right, hopefully. The dude's a freaking dog. I was really mad about what happened with Makai Lemon, but after I watched his tape,
Yeah.
I felt a lot better about it. Um,
And I've seen a lot of discourse online. Like after that, the whole Makai Lemon thing happened, it seemed like everybody really just hated Pittsburgh's draft. And like I was going through it because I haven't done. I'll be honest, I haven't done a lot of research on the Steelers this year, and I was going through it, and there are some really, really good pieces that y'all got in this draft. You got Jeremy Bernard, who probably figures to at least split time at your three. Jennings Dunker, potential starter. You went out and you got probably the best fullback in the country in Riley Nowowski out of Indiana. And then you got a ton of like, even if they aren't starting, a ton of really good depth guys like Robert Spears Jennings, the safety out of Oklahoma, had a really good season at Oklahoma. He has a couple issues. Let me find my thing on him. Jennings Dunker. Spears Jennings, sorry. So yeah, he's where is it? Sorry,
no, you're good.
thought I had it. Yeah, so safety out of Oklahoma. Um, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's just at 6 foot, from what his measurables say. But he could
Yeah,
definitely come in and be a piece on this team,
yeah,
like a really underrated piece. And just like going around the board, there's a ton of really good pieces that may not turn out to be superstars, but will be quality pieces on a good team, on a team that made the playoffs
yeah,
last year. Um,
yeah.
who do you think was your favorite pick out of all this?
Um, Honestly, Bernard. I mean, for as good as he is and as sure-handed as he is in college, for him to be there at 52 was insane to me. I mean, the dude's a stud, and as many receivers that went off, you just can't convince me that he's like only the seventh best.
Yeah, that's fair. I've got to say my favorite was Jennings Dunker. And as a Seattle fan, I was looking at the draft. I was like, this guy could be the guy that replaces Anthony Bradford. And at Bradford, on a little Seahawks standard, Bradford isn't as bad as the lowlights make him look out to be. He's not a great run blocker, but he's decent in the pass game. But I feel like Jennings Dunker. I mean, he's a guard from Iowa. You can't really ask for anything else. Um,
Yeah.
is there a pick on this team that you just didn't really like, didn't really jive with?
Um, it's not that I don't like it. It's just if we wanted to do it, we could have did it way later. Is Wedgen from Iowa, the
Yeah,
receiver returner. I
that
don't know
that
if it
was
was like the
probably
fourth
my
or
least
fifth
favorite.
round. I mean, and looking at his tape, the dude can be a stud returner. Like, not doubting his ability at all to move it
Mm-hmm.
to the next level. But I feel like if we just wanted to do that, we could have did it a little bit later. I feel like we might have just jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, I did watch his tape. Not a lot of it, but I looked at some of the highlights. Um, and my entire thing was why I really didn't like the pick is the wide receiver room right now is kind of crowded, and I'm not big on taking a player that will primarily be in the fourth or a special teamers in the fourth round. So
Yeah,
like, let's see, you had uh Skylar Bell was still on the board at this pick. Connor Liu was still on the board at this pick. If you wanted to shore up some center depth, uh,
yeah,
and Matthew Hibner was still on the board. And the only reason I mention Hibner is due to Sean McVay and a little bit of Ben Johnson. It appears that the league is starting to shift towards heavy personnel, so 2 to 3 tight ends on the field at any given point. Um,
yeah.
and I feel like he didn't put up the stats, but he has the physicals to be someone good. But that's
Yeah.
a talk for a different day. But yeah, Wetjen, he don't get me wrong. I mean, the kid's a stud. I just don't really feel great about drafting a player that's going to primarily be on special teams in the fourth round.
Yeah, I think the only reason that we did it, I don't know if it was like a little bit of panic, but I think it might have been to get Jalen Warren out of the kick return game. Obviously a replacement for Caleb Johnson. And then with the departure of Calvin Austin in free agency, losing him to the
Mhm.
Giants, that one hurt my soul a lot. I loved him. Um, I think that was just a little bit of a panic pick. Kind of what do we do in the return game? Um, and I think he's a great option. With a fourth round pick, I don't know if it was the best value.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot to complain about our draft at all. I really do love it, and
No, I like this
I'm
draft a
still
lot better
excited
than
to
my
watch
draft.
Fletcher play.
I like this draft a lot better than Seattle's draft. This is probably the best draft um, I've covered through doing this deep dive series. Um,
Yeah.
who do you say is probably the most interesting pick you guys made here?
Um, it's definitely either Aller or Iheanacho. Um, just with their, I didn't really think of Iheanacho being an option, especially with one of the Utah tackles still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think we would go there. But I mean, there's not much to complain about. Aller, if you wanted my opinion, it might be biased because I'm also an LSU fan. I wanted Nuss instead of
Nuss,
Aller,
I
but
was having an argument with somebody, and I said Nuss is probably my quarterback two in this class, and it has nothing to do with um me just hating everybody else. It's just Nussmeyer was the projected number one overall pick going into this year, and he was very injured this past year. He had a ton of injuries he was dealing with, and him falling to the seventh round, I just feel like that's crazy because Garrett Nussmeyer he's a leader in the pocket. He has the experience he needs at a Power Five program, a premier SEC program, and when you take Drew Aller, someone who has all the tools in the world, but has not really shown anything for it. I would have rather taken a quarterback that has shown me that he can compete at the highest level. Whereas Aller, he just didn't really put it all together in college.
Yeah, I think they call that one the Brian Kelly effect, but
Yeah.
I'm not too entirely sure. No,
My
I mean Nuss dealt with that oblique injury all year, and it was so obvious from the Clemson game on. I mean,
mhm.
I watched him play in person last year when they played at Vanderbilt. Um, I mean, you could just tell the dude literally could not even get through his whole entire throwing motion. Like it was like kicking a freaking beat dog.
Yeah.
Like dude was giving it his absolute all, but you could tell he was just in so much pain all the time.
Yeah, I personally really like Nuss. I got clowned out the room for it, but probably the pick I'm most interested is of course Heidenreich. Just because I it's a very low it's low risk, high reward because this
Yeah.
kid could definitely pan out. But if we want to transfer over to the win total, so FanDuel has the Steelers win total at 7.5. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm crashing the over every single time.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
team has improved from last year. The only really thing that you could really sell me on that might not really work out for you is the Mike McCarthy Aaron Rodgers pair. Um, and even that,
yeah.
like Mike McCarthy in the regular season has shown he can coach a team. Um, but honestly, I was doing some just some AFC North thinking, and I don't really know if I like a team better than the Steelers to win this division. Um, the Bengals are probably a close second. I don't think the Ravens are going to be that good this year. And then the Browns are the Browns. But what's your opinion on this?
Um, I mean, 7.5 is really low considering it's an Aaron Rodgers led team. He's going to get you 8 wins. I mean, come on. And I mean, even with Tomlin leaving and the winning record BS that everybody's heard for years, um, I mean, we're going to get 8 wins, especially with our schedule. I mean, it's not the easiest in the world, but it's not the hardest. I mean, we're going to get 8 wins. Whether it's Mike McCarthy coaching the team, Mike Tomlin, it doesn't matter who's going to coach it. This team is talented enough to get 8 wins at the bare minimum, and I hope that we don't just get 8. I would love to see us get 11 or 12,
Yeah, I haven't went
and
through
finally find a way to win a playoff game.
and actually taken. I know the schedule is not difficult whatsoever. I have not taken the chance to really look down and see what I think they're going to go. Just off of this team alone, I'm projecting a 10 or 11 win season from this team and a 3 or 4 seed. Because I genuinely I don't see a position where you really dropped off all that much. The Aaron Rodgers scares me because he's 40 some years old, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. Um, but no, I don't really. The win total really confuses me. If this was set at like 8.5, 9.5, it would make a little bit more sense to me. Um, but no, I don't really know why it's set so low. Um, Last thing before we sign off on here, I do since we talked a little bit about Mike McCarthy, I do want to talk a little bit more about it. So, 10 head coaches abandoned or were no longer employed by their team when the season ended, and it's was it the most ever? Or was it the most in a while? I think it was the most in a
Um,
while.
yeah, yeah, something like that.
Um, So Mike McCarthy, previous Cowboys coach, previous Packers coach, he has shown that he can win in the regular season. It's when you get to the playoffs, so you got to worry a little bit. Um, but what's your opinion on the Mike McCarthy hire?
Well, it's definitely the most Steelers thing we could have done.
Hmm.
Replace our last mic with a different mic. Um, but I mean, he's a good coach. I don't know if he's from Pittsburgh or what. I think he is. But he knows what it's like to be a Steeler, and he knows what it's like in the culture of everything. I hope that the players will adapt to him because I know most of the team was very loyal to Mike Tomlin. Uh, whether we would ever get it done in the playoffs or not, they still backed him all the time. A big one of that, Cam Hayward, TJ, um, those guys loved Tomlin to death. Um, and it was very mixed feelings when we got Mike McCarthy. Um, just when there are guys that we could go after. I can't remember his name, but the Rams passing game coordinator or whatever guy.
LaFleur
I think that
or the no, not LaFleur. I know who you're talking about though.
yeah. I mean, looking at him, and we interviewed a bunch of guys. Um, ending up with McCarthy is okay. I mean, it's nothing that jumps out at you and is like that's a fantastic move. It's just like okay, they got a head coach, like
Yeah.
whatever. I hope that we can learn his system. Um, two new coordinators too. I mean, Arthur Smith went off to wherever. Probably brought John Smith with him. Um, lost Terrell Austin. Thank God. He was awful. Like you have a defensive line of Alex Highsmith, T.J. Watt, and Cam Hayward, and you can't stop a freaking run. What are you doing?
No, that's
But
definitely
that's
fair.
besides the point. I hope that we
Do
can
you
adapt.
do you see any major like scheme changes from what we're used to seeing with the Steelers?
I
Like
just hope that we learn
major.
what passes. I just hope that we learn what passes between the hashes are.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if we just continue to throw go routes and corners and not across the middle of the field, I mean we're doomed. It's like watching as a Steelers fan watching like uh Buffalo Chargers like Sunday night football, just a random game. I mean, the offenses look like they're playing a different sport than I watch on every Sunday when I watch Pittsburgh. And
Yeah.
I mean,
The
it's time to get with the times.
Yeah, the I'm very interested in seeing if McCarthy embraces some of the like new things going around, such as like McVay's heavy formula or Kubiak's two running back system. And that's why I'm very interested in the Rico signing because I am very interested if they try to Seattle this and have Warren and Rico run the backfield together. Um, that interests me a lot because Rico has shown wherever he goes he produces, and Warren has shown wherever he goes he produces. Um, and the offensive line is really good. I think this could be a really, really sneaky, really good running team. Especially because you have
Yeah,
like Darnell Washington blocking. You have these really physical players, and so it really, really interests me if we see a turn towards like what Seattle did last year with heavy, heavy runs all the time, hitting them with a play action later on.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but other than that, I appreciate you coming on the pod, talk a little bit of Steelers. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for this team. More than I have like the past 5 years. I'm more excited this year than I have the past 5 years.
yeah. And I think a big part of that is Tomlin finally leaving. I mean, it's been coming for who knows how long. But I mean, my goal, a perfect season would be to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
if we can find a way to finally win a freaking playoff game. I mean, TJ Watt hasn't won a playoff game in his whole career.
That is
That's
crazy to me.
sickening.
That
That's
is, that
sickening.
is that is sickening. I did not know that. That is crazy to me, though. I
Awful.
That is crazy. I never thought about that. Anyway, again, thank you for jumping on the pod with me, and again for the audience. This episode will hopefully drop sometime late this week, early next week. And yeah, again, I hope to get through all 32 teams this summer. And yeah, again, thank you for tuning into the Roll Call podcast. Have an amazing evening.